Good morning, and a very, very warm welcome to you as you listen to my thought for the day. My thoughts this morning were prompted by a phrase in Isaiah 42, verse 3, "A bruised reed he will not break, and a dimly burning wick he will not quench or put out. He will faithfully bring forth justice." It's in a passage about the promised servant who would come. I know many people, particularly in the Jewish faith, believe that initially this was meant to be spoken about the nation of Israel. And Matthew quotes these verses as referring to Jesus in Matthew 12, 18 to 20, which you can have a look at, which is a quote of these first four verses, talking about, I think, making more reference to verse 2, where it says, "He will not cry out or lift up his voice or make it heard in the street," because Matthew quotes it in reference to the fact that Jesus told people whom he healed not to speak about what he'd done for them. And Matthew saw that as fulfilling this particular little passage. But it was the thought of a bruised reed he will not break, and a dimly burning wick he will not quench. He won't put out a little bit of life. There's a little bit of light, and he won't quench it. There's a gentleness, there's a beauty, there's a kindness about the way the Lord deals with us. That he's patient with us, that he's gentle with us. It linked in my mind with that phrase, "He'll gently lead those who are with young," with reference to the sheep in his flock. God is gentle and loving and kind and patient and long-suffering. His greatest desire is for a relationship with every single human being that walks this earth. And he has infinite kindness towards them. And as we look at the things that are going on in our world, I find it one of the most amazing things that God is actually patient with humankind, when humankind can be so cruel and unkind and thoughtless towards each other. God is so patient. This chapter 42, "Behold my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen, whom my soul delights. I've put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice to the nations." You know, in all the promises in the Old Testament with regard to the coming of Jesus, there is mention of the nations, of the Gentiles, of the non-Jews. The idea that the Messiah was only going to come to the Jews is not reflected in the Old Testament at all. If we carry on in this chapter, it says, "Thus says God the Lord, who created the heavens and stretched them out, who stretched forth the earth and what comes from it, spread forth the earth, who gives breath to the people upon it, and spirit to those who walk in it. I am the Lord. I've called you in righteousness. I've taken you by the hand and kept you. I have given you as a covenant to the people, a light to the nations, to open the eyes that are blind, to bring out the prisoners from the dungeon, from the prison those who sit in darkness. I am the Lord, that is my name. My glory I give to no other, nor my praise to graven images. Behold, the former things have come to pass, and new things I now declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them." This is here in this, "I have given you as a covenant to the people, a light to the nations, to open the eyes that are blind, bring out the prisoners from the dungeon." Jesus came to bring light and revelation and understanding of God's ways to not only the Jews, but to the nations, to the Gentiles, the non-Jews. God had a purpose. His purpose was always that through his people, the whole world would come to know him. That was his original purpose, that every single human being that walked this earth would know him personally, know him for themselves. What a wonderful thing that is. I don't know how any of it is possible, because of the millions and millions of people that are walking the earth now, that God knows every single one and is kind to every single one, is speaking to everyone. He doesn't stop reaching out to people, even when they treat him really very cruelly, when people say the most dreadful things about God and accuse God of doing the most awful things and of not doing terrible things, accusing God of bringing disaster upon, and not understanding God's purposes at all. God being maligned by people. Jesus was maligned. Jesus was, the things they said about Jesus, the things they accused him of, when so often you can see it in the New Testament text, when the Lord is astonished at the response of the people who should have known who he was, who should have understood what his purpose was, who should have seen him for who he was. They didn't recognize him. They didn't see him, as John so graphically describes it in John chapter 1. Let me turn it up so that I quote it accurately. This is, to me, such a heartbreaking few phrases. The true light that enlightens every man was coming into the world. This is the light that was going to turn darkness into light, give sight to the eyes that were blind. Was coming into the world, not coming to his people. He was in the world. The world was made through him, yet the world knew him not. He came to his own home, and his own people received him not. There's a heartbreak there, in the heart of God. I've promised my son. I've told them he's coming. I've told them what he's going to be like and what he's going to do. I've sent him to bring salvation, and they haven't received him. And then here is the kindness of God. But to all who received him, who believed in his name, he gave power to become children of God, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of a man, but of God. Born of God. This is what Jesus came to bring. And as Isaiah says, the former things have come to pass, and the new things I now declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. Before Jesus ever came, he told people what he was sending, who he was sending, and what his purposes were. They should have recognized him. But there's a heartache in the heart of God. And that's perhaps one of the reasons why there is such joy in heaven. When someone does come to the light, when someone does have their eyes opened and the bars of their prison destroyed and broken down, so that they can be free to walk with him and talk with him and live with him and get to know him, this great God who made such wonderful plans and who is so kind and gentle. A bruised reed he will not break, a dimly burning wick he will not quench, he will not put out. He has a purpose. He wants to strengthen and encourage and give life to, not to destroy, batter down and break and burn. He wants good for us, and we can trust him, that as we trust him, he will bring that good to bear in our lives. Trust him, my friend, trust him. He is worthy of your trust. He is so good and kind and patient, and he wants the best for you, the very best for you. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.